let's go ahead and add some more bits of detail and bits and pieces on the figures. Just mixing myself up a dark color, and again, just going to work on some of the details for these figures and create more darkness, especially. Okay, and the legs, if I can just get in, it's a better indication of the legs like this. There. This figure here, walking, and this is all dry brush now because that paint, the previous wash has dried off. Okay, there's a couple of legs like that. There, this is a couple of legs here, like this. Okay, here's another figure that just walking up here. We will have to bring some of this detail back and work on, again, just maybe bringing back some of this, a little bit of the shadow here, the reflection, sorry. But the head, head there, another head of the figure, like that. There's an arm there, an arm there. Just putting in indications of details, really. We got some more figures out in the distance, so just getting a little indication of their bodies and joining it onto their legs here. Okay, oh, off in the distance, and little something for their heads as well. Just a little dot up the top there. There. Some of these umbrellas, if I can just darken off a bit of, and a little bit of darkness on it, like that, and soften it off a touch. There, here, that's another umbrella potentially. Okay, holding onto it maybe, like that, like that. So it's just slowly bringing out some of these details. Let's put in some of the car, like underneath the car, a bit of the shadow for the bottom of it, the wheels, like that. There, wheel of that car there, that car there. Good. Some more little details for the buildings in the back. I'm just going to pick up some darker paint and just dab it in there like this. Get in a few little windows or something running through the back. Just a little bit of detailing on top of the building. Some more of these windows. Now that the paper's dried, I can go in and get some of this in. And even these buildings here to the right hand side just indicate a few windows here. That. And just getting this kind of traffic pole or whatever, like that. Street lamp. Another one here. This building we can just rejig it, just put in a few little these little kind of guiding lines running through, and just sort of to indicate the details on the buildings. Okay, the something like that. Alrighty, we're going to do some finishing touches now, and I'm going to show you something interesting that I picked up a little while back, and essentially just use a little blade like this. This is just one of those X-Acto knives that you can get from the shops, box cutter, anything like that. Even a little pocket knife works fine. What you can do is actually use that to scratch over the top of some areas. For example, if I want to bring out a highlight on top of this car, I can use that knife to just scratch off a bit of the paper like this. Okay, just go over the top like that, and you can actually bring back a bit of the highlight there. Not only there, but you can do it on top of the figures as well. So for example here, so sort of just go back and forth and scratch off a bit of tiny bit of that paper. Okay, and it does reveal, does actually lift, scratch off the top of that paper. Okay, but it just allows you to get in really crisp sort of highlight in areas. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is just by using a bit of white gouache. So, for example, here we've got just a tube of white gouache. Pick up a little bit of that off the palette, and using it straight over, you can do this sort of thing. Okay, and this allows you essentially just to get in a little highlight, and I'd like to mix it with a touch of water as well, so that it's not too thick. But you can get it over the top of areas like that. Let's put in a bit more water through there. Get it a little bit thinner. Bit there, bit here. The shoulders of these figures there. Even on top of the umbrellas, sometimes you will find a little bit of highlight here and there. So I can just bring that out, kind of get the shape of that umbrella to come through a bit more. Even on the cars, look at that, just a bit of that white on top. Okay. I tend to use this fairly sparingly as well. Okay. And then what I'll do is just pick up a little bit of darker paint. I thought what I could do to finish this one off is just put in a few little lines running through the page like this. These kind of directional lines that will just help create this sort of perspective. Okay, and I'm imagining a point all the way there in the background. And with that point, I'm then creating a whole bunch of lines that run away or towards that point, that imaginary point. Okay, and it just gives the scene a bit more dimensionality, makes it look a bit more three-dimensional, I suppose. Okay, something I do all the time. And I'm using some dry brush. So I'm picking up that paint, but I am drying that brush off a little bit as well, so that it doesn't overwhelm. Sort of just skips over the page, gives a little indication rather than anything. And that's it, we're finished.